when Iris learns that her mom is back, or alive, I should say, and that she had a drug problem, does she want to meet her? How does she sort of feel about her mom?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think she's not sure. She doesn't know whether she wants to unbury a past that she's not familiar with, because she's had this idea of her mother that Joe's told her about, and to find that that's not what really happened, I don't know that she's emotionally ready to go down that path. So of course she, talks to her best friend, Barry, gets some advice on what the best thing to do is.
I can imagine that she wouldn't be too happy the fact that her dad has been lying to her her entire life. How's that going to shake up their relationship?
Yeah, I think it's interesting because that was such a big plot point last season, right? The lying between family members, between Barry, Iris, and Joe. And so to go into season 2 and we find out there's another huge lie that's being kept from Iris, it's a big deal. But I think, you'll find that this season, Iris is kind of coming around to the idea of understanding that her father, even when he's lying, he has the best of intentions, and it's to protect her. And while that's very frustrating for Iris, I think she especially gets it with her mother, that given having a drug problem and the danger that she put Iris in, that her father did it to protect her. So, yeah, I think she's a little more okay with it than not knowing that Barry Allen was the Flash. That's something you should have told her. I think she could have handled that.
Given that Iris is working with the Star Labs team now more, how does that affect her career? Is she going to be juggling both? What will she be doing?
Yeah, it's an interesting question, and I'm still trying to figure that out on the show myself. Iris, we know her as the iconic reporter from Picture News, but the thing is she's now kind of a part of Team Flash, which is really cool. I'm enjoying seeing her just being in Star Labs and feeling like she's a part of the team and that she's no longer, kept in the dark. So you'll definitely see more of that this season, but, it's important to remember that she is a reporter and that's how we know her, and that we will mostly soon, hopefully, start to see her show up in Picture News mostly.
Now, the old Clark Kent question, how does being a reporter who's intimately involved with your stories and who's essentially has to keep secrets, ethically, how do you kind of wrestle with that as a reporter?
Yeah, that's a great question. I get that one a lot. The problem is we haven't really delved into that yet, so I don't know how the writers are going to handle that, but just me guessing as an actor. I mean, the thing is, Iris has a moral integrity to be a great reporter, but at the same time, she loves her city and she loves Barry Allen, and she will do anything to protect that. And so I think that would probably be her number one priority, is making sure that the identity of the Flash stays secret so that he can do his job, which is protect Central City. And sometimes that means that as a reporter, you have to bend the rules.
Will we see any more of Iris's reaction to losing Eddie, or is that all in the past now?
You see moments of it. It's not heavy in this season, I will say that. I think we wanted to not spend so much time seeing Iris grieve, over an entire season. I think we kind of tried to cover that with the 6-month advance in the season 2 premiere. It's been 6 months. She's had time to absorb what's happened. She's not in deep grief anymore. It doesn't mean that she's not aware of the fact that she lost the man that she loves. We just won't see it playing a heavy role in season 2. Yeah.
How does Iris deal with Barry's developing relationship with Patty?
That's a great question. All these new women, man. Well, it's funny. I think, I don't know what I can say about this without getting in trouble, but I think what's important is, Iris loves Barry and wants to see him happy. And it's the same thing I think we saw with Barry and Eddie and Iris last season. As hard as it was for him, he just wanted her to be happy. So I think when Iris sees that Barry, has an interest in a woman, and a really great woman at that she's quite supportive and quite happy for the both of them.
Well, on a non-romantic level, Patty is obviously working with Joe.
Yeah.
So what kind of relationship is she actually having with Patty as, this woman who's working with her father?
We won't see a relationship with Iris and Patty for a while in season 2. I think we're just starting to kind of move into that direction. I think we're moving into episode 10 now. And, it's less of a business relationship that Iris and Patty have. It's more of a friendship where they ask each other for advice, which I think is really nice. It's going to be really nice to see two women share a common love for a man in a different way at this point, but to have a bonding experience over that.
Sort of on that note, Linda Park is coming back. Do we
Yes.
see their relationship evolve?
Yeah, to a degree. I think there was always great potential for Linda and Iris to have a really great female friendship. I mean, they're both badass women. They're both reporters. They both go after what they want. So yes, you will see a little bit of that. I'm excited to have her back. I think having women in the newsroom is really kind of cool. Yeah, and you get to see both of them be badass at what they do.
In past Arrow Flash crossovers, Iris hasn't really been in the know. How does that change her dynamic with the Arrow cast members, and how involved will she be in the crossover?
She's actually not involved at all. I know that's quite a disappointment to a lot of people, but she's not involved in the crossovers that we have explored thus far. It doesn't mean that we won't ever see that. We know that crossovers have been extremely popular in our universe on the CW, so I'm sure we'll have more. But I will say so far in this season, she does not appear in any of the crossovers in a large way at all. Sorry, fans.
Well, we did
I'm
get to
sorry.
see her having that adorable kind of like fangirl moment when
I
she
know.
met Stephen Amell's character. Is there another Arrow character that you'd like her to cross over with and get to?
I mean, I always say Diggle because, I mean, he's Diggle. I tweeted something was it last episode of Arrow when he's got the baby? I was like, oh my God, the baby, but oh my God, Diggle. Like the baby's so cute, but Diggle's arms are like super cute. So I just imagine shooting anything with Diggle would be really hard to concentrate. Can I say that? So yes, David Ramsey. Because I'm a girl and give me a break.
Did Iris ever graduate college?
Oh my
God. I rewatched her, and she was very, very dedicated to
I
getting
know.
her dissertation.
Well, her dissertation got stolen and she was really upset about it, right?
Yes.
And so you want to know.
I gotta know.
You gotta know. I don't know. I don't know.
You were the one I was counting.
I know. You know, what you'll find is they tell us actors nothing. Very, very little. So that's a question I can't answer. I think about that often too.
It's good to know I'm not alone.
But I hope at some point, like in the future, in one episode, we like make a joke of it, just to satisfy your question.
Did Iris and Kendra work together at Jitters?
From what I'm understanding, the way we've developed it, no. No. They just both worked at Jitters at separate times.
Well, it's Christmas.
Did I say that right? I hope I said that right. I don't know.
Well, it's Christmas time in the Flash episode that you're filming. What
Yes.
can you say about what Christmas has in store for Iris?
Well, this is the mid-season episode. What does Christmas have in store for Iris this episode? I mean, it's a lot about family, which is a big plot point for Iris this season. So that's really exciting. Other than that, I don't know that there's much more I can say. We see a reappearance of some rogues from the past that we know very well. It's a good Christmas episode, just like the last one. Good villain and good love and good heart.
We're episode 3 is coming up right now, but is
Yeah.
there any episode coming up like in the future that you're really excited for fans to see for Iris?
I would say maybe 3. I mean, I know that's convenient because it's airing tomorrow, 8/7 Central on the CW. But I mean, I like that one just because I think they've teased a little bit. You see Iris jumping out of a window, and she's really in pursuit of this story that she has at work. And I love any time we see Iris kind of vigorously passionate about her job and her city. And so you definitely get to see a little bit of that next episode. And the next few episodes for Iris, you start to uncover this kind of family history, which I know people are very curious about. So, yeah.
What can you hint at about Wally?
I'm sorry?
What can you hint at about Wally coming into the picture? Or perhaps their interactions?
They will have them. They will be having interactions. What can I say? we definitely know Wally is going to make an appearance. I know that's a huge point of excitement for a lot of fans. I personally don't know very much. I can't really say when he'll appear, how he will appear, what the relationship between him and I will be like. So all I can say is yes, I'm sure we will share some sort of dialogue.
Sorry to
fans-
interrupt. Wait, this is the last question.
Fans freaked out last year when they saw the glimpse into the future and saw your byline with Alan.
Yeah.
We know that Barry is getting into other relationships right now. Do you find yourself getting frustrated that you're not there yet, or do you enjoy getting to see him kind of have this
Iris
time?
or Candice?
Yeah, Iris.
I don't know. I think the thing is, that's a good question. We haven't really explored, how Iris feels about that future. I think she knows that it's a possibility. Eddie told her that that's what was in the paper. So I think in some way she's deeply aware that that's a possibility, but I don't know. I think if it's true love, it'll find its way. And I think that's what's so great about this show is we kind of have that hanging over our heads, this date. What was it, 2026? Hopefully we're still on the air. And we can see that come to fruition. But as far as Iris, I think, the love between her and Barry will never, ever go away. It's just dependent on what that love will look like and when. So I think it's nice to know that at some point there's a possibility that all of that sexual and romantic tension can kind of come to a head.